Hi, my name is Amanda, and I've decided to start a food allergy blog. Basically, my main motivation for doing this is I know there's a lot of people out there like me. I want to connect with those people and, exchange ideas about how to deal with being so food allergic and share with you guys some ways that I try to cope. And after, past couple hours of having another allergic reaction to food, I felt motivated to make this video and reach out to those of you with similar problems. And now I have quite the unique list. I'm allergic to rice and corn. I'm allergic to onions, barley, soy, turkey, and then tree nuts and peanuts. And I'm also very, very allergic to sesame, in addition to gluten and dairy, and I have a sugar intolerance as well. So that's my fun list right there. I might be missing one or two, but that's the basics. Those are the big foods that I try my best to avoid. And when you are allergic to gluten and also allergic to rice and corn, it makes things just a tad bit difficult, because everything gluten-free is, oh, here's some gluten-free pasta made with corn flour. Yay! So that's the kind of stuff that I deal with daily, and I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir. But basically, this first video, I'm going to share a little bit of my story, how I found out about my food allergies and what I deal with. But I also hope to, kind of be able to talk to you guys about what things frustrate me, like other people who are food sensitive, not necessarily allergic or even intolerant. I can handle that. But like people who are like, oh, my stomach hurts a little bit. I really think I'm sensitive to dairy. Okay, so you get a tiny little bellyache and that's the end of the world. Okay. Anyway, rant for another day. So, as I said, my name's Amanda. I am 22 years old, and I've had my food allergies for 2 years now. Actually, almost to the date. This time 2 years ago is when I had my first symptom. It was one day I went to a diner with my friend, and we had just I had a cheeseburger for lunch. Regular burger, cheese, lettuce, tomato, on a sesame seed roll. And that next day I had the worst pain in my abdominal area. Like, I could have blacked out. That's how much pain I was in. So within that week, it had progressed to a point where the pain just kept increasingly getting worse and worse and worse, and I didn't know what to do. By Friday night, this was a Tuesday, my first symptoms showed up. By Friday night, I was on the floor in tears, and then in the emergency room that night getting pumped up with morphine and fluids and Zofran. It was ridiculous. And this went on for the next couple of weeks. I'd be in the emergency room every couple of days. I wasn't keeping food down. I was retching, which isn't necessarily throwing up. It's basically like dry heaving, and sometimes like the fluids and stuff come up, but like there's not enough pressure. Sorry, a little gross. But yeah, so that's where everything started for me. And my doctors thought it was a bunch of different things. I got, oh, it's acid reflux, or oh, it's this and oh, it's that. But the big thing that was an indicator that it was something to do with food allergies was I got an endoscopy, and I actually have wrinkles down my esophagus, or had. They go in and out. But the first endoscopy showed wrinkles, which is a sign of a disorder called eosinophilic esophagitis, which is your esophagus, the white blood cells in it are attacking the foods that you're allergic to, like even more so than just having a food allergy. Like your body is attacking it even more hardcore. little white blood cells are going ninja on the onion, the turkey going down my throat. So that's what they thought I had. My allergist is actually the one who figured out all my food allergies. My mom happened to call him up because we were looking into this being a potential diagnosis, because they did consider celiac, and that wasn't coming up positive for my biopsies. So, well, yes, I can't have gluten. It's because I'm actually allergic to the yeast in it. So it's not necessarily like a wheat allergy, but I just avoid grains altogether. The only one I make room for is quinoa. But yeah, so my allergist did the exotic foods skin test, and he found all the nuts and all that good stuff. And I eliminated them from my diet until my doctor down in Philly said, hey, we need to get a positive biopsy for the EOE, so eat all your allergic foods, yay! And I mean, most of them didn't give me too bad a reaction at the time, like it wasn't anaphylaxis, so I thought. So I actually had that same burger at the diner by my house, and within 10 minutes of me completing my meal, I was throwing my guts up. And then within a half hour of that, I was on my way to the emergency room, and my throat was closing. I was having an anaphylactic reaction. And it wasn't to the meat, and it wasn't to the lettuce or the tomato. It was to those stupid little sesame seeds. And I remember saying to my parents, oh, there's sesame seeds on this. Looks like I'm gonna have a bellyache. Like, remember saying it. And I never thought that a little tiny seed like that could cause such a big problem in my esophagus and my stomach and my throat. It was awful. And now at that time I wasn't, the gluten problem wasn't as prevalent. That's actually within the last year I've developed that dairy and the sugar intolerance. I've stick to a pretty paleo diet just because most of the foods that I can have are, adhere to paleo, but paleo is no dairy and no grains. So gluten and dairy are out of there, and no refined sugar either. So they try to stick to like natural sugars like honey and agave, which I handle well with, so thank God. But yeah, so this is, this is just where I'm at, where I'm starting with. I really hope to share with you guys some different recipes that I come up with, and have a place to let out the frustrations of being allergic to so many things, because I tell you what, I never in my life thought that I would be in such a battle with food. I love food, and I can't tell you, I'm sure that those of you who have similar problems now, when someone sits next to me and eats pizza from my favorite pizza place, I'm ready to cry, because I can smell it and I can remember the taste, and part of me wishes that I had just grown up like this and not all of a sudden at 20 years old, oh, hey, by the way, you're allergic to a bunch of stuff. That was hard. That was a really hard adjustment. And I know I'm an adult and I can handle it, but I still remember what it tastes like to have General Chow's chicken, and now I'm horrified to eat Chinese because of the rice and the corn and the onion and, oh yeah, the sesame. So I'm sure a bunch of you know the feeling, and for my friends and family out there watching, thank you to everyone who's so supportive of me. I know sometimes it seems like I'm being kind of silly, but when you have that experience where just everything in your body starts to just shut down because of one little thing, it's hard not to be a little oversensitive and scared. I'm scared a lot. But I have a good support system. I have a family who loves me, I have friends who look out for me, and I have an amazing boyfriend who, when I can't remember everything I'm allergic to, at least he does. So that's it for today. That's my story. But from here on out, I hope to kind of discuss some other elements of living with allergies and getting into that with you guys. So thanks for watching. Sorry if I took a while on this one. It takes a long time to give a backstory. And I'll add like little tidbits here and there. But yeah, that's it. Thanks. Subscribe.